Hello, this is Elon Musk, the ultimate channel. Now understanding Elon Musk. Let me look at the price. AMD is down almost 7%. It's a little bit amazing. Everything is down at the moment. Let me see, 220, 250, around 250. So this is expired. So it will go to 240, maybe 230. So, what do we talk today? I think let's talk about something that I'm always did a long time and now even again doing, and I showed some video about it. This is fitness. Uh, I cook and I do fitness. Why do I do fitness? So what all let me tell the story about how I got doing kind of bodybuilding, fitness, and even they asked me to become fitness trainer and to help people to lose weight in a professional way. But I refused that because yeah, I could do it, and I still helped people at around that time to lose weight, and I was also a little bit successful. But it was not my thing. But I can tell how it all came. It has to do with when I was a child. I was around 55 kilos, and I was doing. I think I did uh, Shaolin so far. There was a martial arts. A friend of mine did it on the university, and he said, "Come to a lesson." And he was a good friend of mine, and I started it. It was nice. Hard. It was kind of Shaolin Kung Fu. I did at the time, and after that the time I became better and better. And then I had a problem with my back. I went to my back, and I had difficulty walk. And luckily, the doctor said to me that because I was trained in martial arts, I had some good muscles in my back, and that diminished all the problems I had. But he said, if you ever stop with it, please continue with some strength training and keep your muscles okay. Because he said, if you don't have muscles there, or you will have back pains again. Because these injuries don't this in the that is the soft stuff between the bones from your spine, and if that is damaged, it will not grow. So he said the only way to reduce pain and all problems, keep your back muscles, train them, and okay, what I did was also I was around the time 55 kilos or something, and around 60, 65, and I was always the practice doll of the sensei of because I was so light, and I was agile, and I was always very willing to do things, and yeah. Uh, After a while, it became harder and harder. I got some problems in my back, and I talked with the master, with the leader of the dojo, and he said, "I see that you have problems with your back. Maybe it's better to do something else." And he suggested me to train the beginners. So I trained for 3 years the starters, the people that started, and he also taught me. Think more about all the technique and how this works, and deep dive in martial arts and what it is. So I really studied martial arts and what it was, the origin, why are the movements of it as it is. So, but also I was so frustrated because I was still as the practice doll. I wanted to, and even if I had a good technique, there were always these bear of people, and the Dutch are very long. They can't lift me up. They can always lift me up because I was so light. So I knew the best way is to get heavier, and I don't want to get heavier because of my fat content, because I wanted to be also stronger. So I thought, let's train together. A friend of mine who was also at that time already black belt or higher, we trained. We started to do fitness, bodybuilding, and he was not interested in bodybuilding, but more in fitness. So we went there crazy, and we had a nice time. And after a while, I was not able to keep on going. So I decided, okay, because the work was also demanding more. I was then working for the company that did repairs, and I decided, okay, I will not continue the job, the club, the karate of the kung fu club, because my my injuries, and I saw people getting better, and I couldn't keep them up. And if I tried to keep them up, I could do it, and after a while I got we had problems again with my back, and that frustrated me. That I had to wait for 2 or 3 months to retrain again. And so I decided, and also talked with the sensei, that it's maybe better to just for me to stop. And he agreed, and he said, okay, maybe it is better to, but he said keep on training, and he said I teach you the basic of martial arts, so do always something with you, with your knowledge you have. And I always kept it in my back head, and I also train, and my movements I still know. So, but then I remember the talk that I had with the doctor. He said you can well stop, but then you will have issues again with your back because you don't train. Now, first I thought, okay, maybe less muscles is better. And what I found out very quickly, my back pains get worse. And especially when with stress on my work. So combination stress and not good moving. Okay, I had a problem. So I deep dived into bodybuilding and in muscles first, and then on bodybuilding. And I knew the muscles I had on my back and my body were specially built for kung fu and for this kind of training. And if I wanted to do because I also had very short muscles, so I had to always stretch. But if I wanted to do something else, I had to find a way that I can build up my body, my muscle body, and also a little bit my weight. I was always a little bit depressed because I was so light. So I thought, okay, I want to gain more muscle, and what is the best thing? Now I saw a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I knew the answer directly. Get like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Muscles, muscles. Let's build it up. So pump iron. So I decided to do study into all this fitness stuff and all this bodybuilding stuff. First, I had to go. Food is important, so I studied that: how to gain weight, how to lose weight, how to get ripped. Now, I was not interested in ripped, but how to gain weight. That was interesting. How can I train with machines that I don't get this my back injure? So I found out Smith machines, the machines that do like all the machines without free weights are good for you. I wanted to have like a perfect stress on my spine, so that it's not flexible. So all kinds of free weights, or like a bar on your neck, and then try to do deadlifts or all kinds of stuff. That was not that I thought first that is not good. Later I found out that were very important things you have to especially train for those muscles. But first I thought, okay, I have to train like that. So I started first, I was searching for some club, and then what I later also told, near my work, there was at the end of the road, was a bodybuilding fitness club, and there were big guys there. So I started, okay, after work, let's work, and this person, the owner gave me 1 or 2 months free training. He said, if you like it, we'll make a special price for you and you can continue. So I continued and started training there. And once in a while, last year, I came there. Maybe my old karate club, my kung fu club, I went once a month, and only when there were at the end of the years, and then after that I stopped. But I gained weight. I went from I think 55 to 60, 65, almost 10 kilos I gained. So I was really happy that I got more power. And then I started to do more reading and learning on bodybuilding, and especially bodybuilding fitness, because I saw these big guys walking there, and the owner also, there was somebody from Suriname, that is one of the Antille Islands. This guy was very very good built, and he was muscles, and he was always enthusiastic. So I thought, okay, let's train and let's get more muscles. So the first thing I always, what I already very quickly found out is my legs. My legs are very strong because of the karate and the endurance sports I did. So they were very difficult to get big. But I had some tricks. I found some tricks how to do it. But I thought it's not important. I want to have my upper body. So I started to train my upper body, and the breast and the back is the most important. So I always, until now, I always keep the breast and my shoulders always trained. They say if you need only a few exercises, the big main groups to exercise, and the rest of your muscles will follow. Of course, I trained my everything, every thing that was in the book. I bought the Arnold Schwarzenegger book. I tried every part, and I had this program with 20 exercises. I had like 15 exercises per day, and I rotated from upper body to lower body with main group to subgroup. I even trained my neck with a band, and I did pull-ups with a weight between my legs. Now, all those things I did, and I kept up what it was. I drink protein drinks. I had, in that time, I was eating eggs, raw eggs. But after a while, I could not stand any eggs anymore. Now, if I eat a raw egg, I throw up. My stomach says you have enough raw eggs for the rest of your life, so I cannot even eat eggs anymore. So I switched to shakes. In those shakes were multivitamins, so that was a perfect combination. Because first we had the protein shake, and I had this vitamin drink. So I had this yellow vitamin drink always, and then I had always protein drink. And then later they combined the protein drink with the vitamin drink, so you only had one drink. And I also bought that stuff. I got the big bag from what's it, 15 kilo from the fitness school. I had it at home, and I had a mixer at home, and I had milk always. I bought it in the supermarket, and I was always drinking this protein thing, and I grow until my record was in the Netherlands. I think almost 85 kilos. 85 kilos. That is when I was dus 30 kilos up, so that's half of my. But I was also young, so I gained 20 kilos easily, and I was really yeah, I looked very good. But I always had a stomach because I was eating too much. But yeah, there was a time that I had almost a good-looking body. But I could go further, and I talked with people. They say, yeah, if you want to have like want to be in the 10% or 5%, you need to use some stuff, huh? This stuff that push you to train more. But at that time, I said, okay, I was doing it for my back. I don't have back pains. And I looked at the mirror. I said, well, I don't look so bad. It's already enough. So, and I didn't do it to get the girls or something. They say, I always say, yeah, body. I study it, and I gained. I didn't have a girlfriend, and I want to have a girlfriend, so I trained. Now I'm looking like an Arnold Schwarzenegger and still have a girlfriend because I spent all my time at the fitness club. Yeah, in reality, I was working, fitness club, eating, sleeping, to work, fitness club. So I didn't have any social contact. I met some people upstairs. I did the aerobic stuff, spinning, and at the time that is the cyclists and so forth. And yeah, I met people, but I could not find really a nice girlfriend in the Netherlands. Also, I had some people maybe at my work that were nice, but I thought I don't want to have a relationship from my work. So that was not the reason why I did this bodybuilding. The bodybuilding was first really for my back, to save my back, because I really felt when I stopped Kung Fu that I had the back problems came up. Then I started to do the fitness stuff, and you get this like a runner's high. It became addictive. I stopped sometimes, and then I trained again, and then I said, okay, maybe I have to stop, build off. And then the owner said to me, hey guy, you are so nice, always there. You can train here whenever you want. Don't have to pay anything. So, and if there are some people that need help, I want if you can help them, that would be great. So I helped some people losing weight there. Always friendly with the instructors there. They helped me, even the big guys, or I looked up, they knew me, I spot for them, they spotted for me. I trained with one very good friend who trained a lot, and we tried to gain also, getting stronger and stronger, and we trained also to be stronger and not bigger, because yeah, in that time I had shirts, and sometimes when I was training in a period, in a year, the beginning of the year I had new shirts, and the end of the year all those shirts didn't fit anymore. And then I have a lower period, and then my sizes of my clothes went up and down. I had even a period when I was 85 kilos that I got my back, my legs very big, and I had at the end, okay, I catch up and I want to do more and more and more, and then I found out, okay, it is nice to have better big legs, but you cannot sleep because you're distant. You have to put like something between your legs. Everything becomes like bloated. You're like a Michelin man. And also my everything, I got a sweat at night. If you are so big and you have this mass, it was too much. Like if you're overweight. So I think, okay, wait. 85 kilos is too much. So I tried to find a good weight, and it was around 72 kilos. That's what I'm now, and that is good enough. And I built up with that weight and with that size, I tried to get more strength, and I got very good strength. I could bank press around 120 kilos, and that is, yeah, I had a good strength. And also then I tried to do more and more. I got some problems with my shoulder. I had a shoulder injury. I had some friends, big bodybuilders, that pushed me over this imaginary border of 100 kilos bank pressing. I got there. I was happy. Bank press 100 kilos. But then I thought, what am I doing to get this with the setup? If you get one to be really big, you need to use steroids, and people were using steroids, or you have to train like crazy. Because I'm an engineer, I'm a computer engineer, I'm not a bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder. So I stopped. So I was more focusing on cardio, helping people that worked at my company that had overweight, that weigh 100 kilos or 120 kilos. I tried to, and I successfully brought them down to 90 kilos. And people that were 90 kilos, I could bring back to 75 kilos. Also advise them to change the diet. Don't drink beer, but if you want to be drunk, drink alcohol, drink vodka or something. Stronger alcohol is better, less calorie. So I also studied, of course, all the food, what to eat, vitamin C, what to. So there was a very big journey in the food and the minerals. All the books. Was men. What is it? The men's health. There was a magazine over bodybuilding and over training and over fitness. I was all in that world. I even, when Arnold Schwarzenegger came here, I wanted to take a day off to meet him, but I had to work. It could not be, so I said okay. But I looked at, of course, television. He was in Amsterdam for opening Planet at Hollywood with Stallone and Bruce Willis, I think, in that time that he was in Amsterdam. I wanted to shake his hand or get his autograph in his book. I had his book. Later, I gave to a friend that also did fitness. I gave all my fitness books and all my magazines that I had accumulated over the years to him, so he could hopefully continue training. I don't think he did. I saw him a few years ago, and he looks like a plank. He didn't do any fitness anymore. I'm still okay. I have my belly was too big. My wife was complaining, so I'm training again, and you saw that I have a bench press, free weights. Also, free weights are better in reality, but you have to be really already good amount of muscles in your back. So my lessons is always, if you really want to train hard and heavy, use mid machines, do it in a controlled environment with a machine. And if you want to train the smaller muscles or the core, use light weights and and just do the motion slower. So sometimes if you have a bar, you can take the bar. They say you take the shoulder length and then lift it up. I can give you an idea. If you take it farther and farther away, if you extend your hand to the max and you try to lift the bar, then or you do something with a bar with almost stretch, it becomes more difficult. If you kept your arms more closer to yourself, it is easier. It is easier to push or to pull. The further you go, the more heavier it becomes. So if you have, for example, that's also what they taught me. If you have a weight you cannot go over, what you do is you go to a lower weight, and if it has to do with your hands, you extend your grips distance. So if you can easily lift like this, like a 50 or 60 kilos or 50 kilos, then you train like that, and what you do the next time, you go further and further until you like this is your max. Okay, then you train that and you go a little bit more, then you increase your weight and you go closer to each other, and you find out, hey, I can lift it easier, and then again that, and then at the end, if you have your 100 kilo, then your 90 kilos, and you go outside, then if you try to lift a 100 kilo with your arms closer, it is possible. So that is the trick. Also, deadlifters, they have to also, you have to, like this, you push your weight, but you can also extend it more, and you feel it much more difficult. But if you train it like this with a lighter weight, you can get more strength. And then if you do an extra weight on it that previous you could not do, then if you train with the wider grip and you make a closer grip, then miracle-wise you can lift a more heavier weight. Nobody tells that. That is a tip I can give you. And there are more things with food. You can take all kinds of crazy things. I had a guy who liked pineapples. He ate only pineapples the whole day long. He had a crazy idea about it, that was good for him. He read it somewhere. But my idea was that I looked up for proteins and for vitamins. Now they said if you eat a lot of fruits, and I had a fruit tree. In old days, I had a fruit tree when I did a little bit of fitness. And I thought, yeah, I get more fruit, vitamin C, I'm strong. Now you go to the toilet, that's crazy. That's also one of the problems with if you eat a lot of fruit. So I did, okay, I don't need to eat so much fruit. So how do I get in all my vitamins? Now, you take a multivitamin. And then I saw it also, you have the vitamin drink. So I started with the vitamin drink and a little bit of protein. So first I had the chicken, but it becomes too expensive to eat raw meat, and there's also meat is not good for you. So I started lean chicken with a protein drink and a multivitamin drink. Now these days you have other things, EPA, HPC, all those stuff. They are combined. Now I think now if you want to train it, you have one pill with creatine. That gives you more, you can endurance, you can train longer with heavier weights, and your body recuperates faster. Then you take a nice protein shake and look one up with all the vitamins and minerals you need, and then you have your set. So you have one shake, maybe a pill or something. You take one at a time when you want to train really harder, and then you eat normal, and you look out for what you eat, and mainly chicken and lean meat, and you look out for your carbohydrates, so the pasta, the bread, and the rice you eat. If you careful with that, and your vegetables are okay, and your meat is okay, then that is your diet, and you get a body like me. It is good enough. You can be you gain in strength. You gain in you create like you can create good muscles, eh? And you're not starving. You can I eat chocolate. I eat ice cream. Everything. As long as you sometimes you look out when you're eating. So for example, if you want to eat a nice day, all kinds of bad stuff, eat it in the morning or in midday, not at the evening, because evening it will bottleize into fat or into things that are worse. Also, if you take vitamins, etc., and you want to recuperate from a hard day of work, do it at night before you sleep. Then your body comes in a kind of state of recuperation. And if you have at that time all your vitamins and all your minerals your body needs, it can repair itself, and the next day it is easier to train. So don't do everything in the morning. My protein shake, I do in the morning. I could do it if I want to gain weight in the evening, but I don't want to gain weight, so I have my protein shake in the morning, and then I already have all my vitamins. If it would be split, or I have some extra vitamins I don't feel well, I eat them just before I go to sleep, maybe 1 or 2 hours before sleep with a glass of water. That's it. Then my body will recuperate, and I have the proteins in the morning. If I use creatine, I use it normally in the morning because I train during the day. I do some computing, and I feel okay, so I do some bench pressing, some pull-ups, and then do some computing, and then a few hours later. So yeah, and then I normally do it in I keep the program for a few days. I keep on creatine. I go for crazy for the more heavier weights, and with a driving bike, I go for the longer distance and climbing hills. And if that period is over, I scale down. I take lighter weights. I do more flatter courses with my bike, and I do most 2 times longer than I have this explosive time. And then what happens? You build up your muscles. So in my case, I keep my muscles and I train a little bit more. I see more nicer definition, and to really get definition, you have to get weights. So I still have my karate movements and my martial art movements. So I do martial art movements with a weight, or I do my little bit of stretching also, but and stomach exercise, lift ups for my legs. Also, when I walk with the dog, I look that my legs are nicely placed in front of each other. Not like I'm not walking like a duck, but I'm walking straight ahead. And sometimes I do some exercise when I'm walking, some funny exercise, a skip walk, or something powerful for my legs. So okay, my legs are like my wife is jealous about my legs because if I would shave my legs, I could do leg commercials for panties or something. These legs are so beautiful. They are thin and nicely muscled. I have female legs, so sorry for that. That is maybe strange, but yeah, there is something strange because I'm walking so much that they don't bulk. And I also stopped with bulking for my getting the big legs with the upper muscles, the upper leg muscles. Because if you sleep and you have your legs on top of each other, there is always a space that it is very strange to sleep with those big legs. You can of course put some blanket or a cushion between it, but I'm not want to have like these big legs, and this for me it is not. I'm not here for bodybuilding. So the only thing I focus on is a nice upper body, some triceps, biceps, my breast, and my shoulders. So that the advantage of a shoulder is that you can lift up things like a washing machine or other heavy things. It is for me easy to lift. My legs are very strong, but they are very thin. But that's exactly what I wanted. And I work in the garden or in the hatake or in the vegetable garden, and I have a very good upper strength, so I can lift up very heavy stones. I can lift up the machines that I'm using for plowing. I cart with maybe 100 or 100 kilos or something. I can still push in the mud. Nice exercises. Sometimes I do something wrong and I cannot walk for a day because I get again some problems with my back. So all these things. What is the core? I do it for because I do a lot of computer stuff, and you do a lot of computer stuff. Your brains you do eat a lot of sugar. So you eat a lot of sugar. You see always programmers getting fat, and they always eating snacks when they are doing programming or drinking cola or something. All the bad stuff, and they gain easily weight. So what I yeah, let's continue. See that another shirt another day. The dogs came in and my wife. So let's continue the talk. I had with about food cola. Let's talk about PEP syndrome. People have a lot of drinking a lot of soda pop. Quit with it. Just drink water or drink tea. Also look out for coffee. You can drink it in the morning, but don't drink it at night because before you sleep, because you cannot sleep. If you have headaches, drink water before you sleep. Normally, headaches in the morning or has to do with dehydration. The body needs a lot of water, and if you forget to drink, you get headaches. One of the symptoms is that. So always drink enough water. You can buy bottled water or you use tap water if that is good. So I used a combination here. I drink tap water sometimes, but now the tap water is very warm. So what you do can is you take the tap water, you boil it, and you throw it in a cooling machine like the 2 liter bottles. You put them in the cooler, and you have nice water. And if you have like chloride or some other stuff in it with boiling, and you wait a little time, it will evaporate. Put it in a bottle, and then you put it not in the freezer, but in the cooler, laser go, and then you have nice water, and you drink that. And if you have one bottle of 2 liters, now you know already what you have to drink every day. That is your minimum, but of course in food is so. If you drink for half 1 liter or a little bit more, you are safe. You probably have no headaches in the morning, or dehydration is not the case. What I said again, try to avoid eating during after 10 o'clock or something. Also snacks, look out for snacks. Salt. I don't use salt anymore. I don't use sugar anymore. All those things are out of my kitchen. If I need for some cooking salt, I use bacon or I use meat. And you can also use a little bit of sauce. So use the sauce that is in the meat for the meat for marinade. There's enough salt in there, so really salt in the kitchen is really not needed. You can of course take salt on top of tomatoes also. Okay, so you take a little bit of salt, but normally if you cook whatever, you don't need salt at all. There are so many mayonnaise. If you use a little mayonnaise for your salad or something, there is enough sugar and stuff in it already there. And everything you do extra is not good. And also you have to get used to the real taste of stuff. People are so. I think Americans only drink dressing if they eat. They don't. They drink a salad with more dressing than the salad. Use less of everything. It's always better. Try if you get older. So to try to resize your portions, eat less and less and less. You can do also eat during the day. And there is also a big thing about eating, when to eat. Some people say fasting and you only in the morning or once a day, a big meal and a small day. Some people say you have to eat the whole day a little bit by little bit. Uh, I think you can do something. You can eat a big meal if it is in the time easy to eat one big meal. You eat one big meal and then you eat some bread or some smaller thing during the day, and then it's done. If you are in a situation, for example, if you are with vacation or something and or somewhere else, it is easier to eat a lot of small meals instead of one big meal. Yeah, then you choose for that way. And at the end, it is almost the same. It can be better that you have one big meal in the morning or in the midday, and that the rest of the day you fasten. It's maybe a little bit better. But if it is sometimes it is not possible, then you can go both ways. And then you can eat every 2 hours to 3 hours. You can eat something. So, for example, if I'm really programming and I'm really going sitting a lot and I have to concentrate with writing books, I do a lot of book writing. Uh, then one big meal, I drain myself, and in the morning I'm not forgot. If I eat only at the midday, then mean that in the morning I don't have power and I cannot write. So what I do then at those days is I eat every 2 3 hours and lose a little bit. And if it's a big meal, it is a big meal time. I let my wife eat the big meal, and I eat a little bit of a portion because I already eat before, and I will eat probably after that. So that is how you eat. And people think that muscle gain and the most important thing is like to do the exercise. They did a test in the old days, and that was like we give the people the food what a normal bodybuilder will use, or the shake, the protein shake, all the stuff that a bodybuilder does, and the other people were just the normal people, eat normal, etc. What they found out is that the people that were eating like used stuff like bodybuilders, like extra protein, vitamins, they became more muscular. So even if you don't train, but you take the nutrients of somebody who is a sports person, you will gain muscle mass. So, it will of course help when you do exercise and you activate your muscles more, they will grow. But in reality, it is also logical. Muscles don't grow because of exercise. They grow because of what you eat. They need nourishment and they have to build up. So even if there is no exercise there, uh, you still can gain muscle mass and also fat. That is maybe what is. But if you have the right common food, you can gain muscle mass without any training. And this is really true. But what is training? What is bodybuilding? What is fitness? What is all this stuff? You have to recuperate. You're scared. You're tired. But if you look at the bodybuilders, how do they get these big muscles? So why is this bigger? Uh, as normal people, it is scar tissue. It's not that you get more muscles, that you get more fibers. Because no, the number of fibers is exactly the same. It's genetically determined. Only they get thicker, they get more stronger. So you have the same amount of fiber, muscle fiber, but they get thicker. And how do they get thicker? Because of scar tissue. Because you use them more, you overload them, they have to rebuild, and they rebuild stronger. And if you don't exercise anymore, they will renew. Your body is always renewing, and they break down a little bit more. So your number of your muscle fiber stays the same. The amount of the like strings. You have to think that is like all kinds of strings. So normal person have these strings are thin. If you start to do bodybuilding and you go overloading and you use them a lot, those strings getting a little bit thicker and thicker. And of course, if you eat more, they can also the energy of the protein goes to those strings, and they get also thicker. So that is how. So bodybuilder, very important is food, and you see this beautiful life. That is all dehydration. The to get the water off it. So if you want to really lose, if you do lose sports or if you want to lose weight, it is the first month is only water. You lose water, water, water. Like the fat people, if they start to do sports, they first thing what happens is they lose water. Also, if you do sports, look if the gym has an AEG, that is for a heart rhythm machine. I heard some people saying, yeah, there are a lot of people, sports people get heart attacks, and this is very dangerous to do bodybuilding because they got a lot of heart attacks, etc., etc. I worked in a fitness studio. And yeah, it's correct. You get a training, and even an instructor. Everybody that works there can get even a free training, even if you're sporting there a long time and you are good customer. They give you if there is a training for heart massage or EAG machines. They ask you to join if you want. You can join that. Why? It's not the professional trainers. It's not the guy. Maybe the 1%, the really big people, they can maybe have a problem. But for the normal people, they don't have a problem. Who has the biggest chance to get a heart attack or wrong are the people they just start. A lot of people, they are like immobilized. They want to start fitness for the first time, and they go crazy on the treadmill. The first time they go, oh, let's go crazy, and they are overweight and they do too much, and their heart cannot not cope with it. Often, starters just starting for 1 month or for a few weeks, they get a heart attack because they started to move again. For a long time they didn't move. Now they start to move. The heart can not cope with it, and they got the problems. Or they have heart problems, and for the doctor asks them to sport. Yeah, then the chance people sometimes in your gym have heart problems, and they sport because of they want to keep the heart better. Yeah, and then the chance second heart attack is bigger than if you never have a heart attack. So that is a little bit of explanation why you have to be careful. Also, listen to the instructor in the first time of what to eat. Don't use all those shakes in the beginning. Shakes and all those creatine and all those stuff. First, you have to get in a good physical position, a physical condition that you're lean and you're okay. After that, you can look at protein, etc. So the first year, maybe the first 1.5 years, maybe 2 years, you don't even need that stuff. Just get your body in good condition. You can do all the exercise. You know how to do them. You like it or you don't like it. Most people only start doing exercise for 3 or 4 months, and then you have a big jar of protein shake that you will never touch or you drink it. And if you drink that, you get more fatter than instead that you will lose weight or what you wanted to do with it. So my advice is in the beginning, do nothing. Drink water, take a big bottle of water in a towel, and do first cardio until your boss, your BMP or your boss, your weight is in order with your body. Then, but also when you do this cardio, always after it do some weight training. Why? Because cardio only burns energy when you're doing the exercise. If you create muscles, your muscles get activated, and the whole day, even if you sleep, you burn fat. So it is better. As always, you have to do some weight training. If it is a lightweight or you use a machine, I advise use if you're beginning, use machines. Smith machine, only the bar. Use some machines, only the lowest thing, and just get the exercise correct. Ask a trainer, do I do this exercise correct? And do it very light. And do it very slow. No, do it very slow and very up. And do it like 10 times so you know exactly how to do it. You check if your arms are okay, is this okay? And you do it very slow and you keep doing it. Then after a while you add a little bit of weight, but the idea is not to do heavy things. Just do it for the movement, because your brain and then you are used to which kind of movement. Not some lot of people do like crazy heavy thing. Ooh, and I do it like and all the form is wrong, and later they already overweight that you just barely can push or do, and they all do like and how they lift this stuff is wrong, and that means that their body or the shape of their body or the muscles will grow not symmetrically. So you have to always look in the mirror, or if you're training, you have to look at that your movement is symmetrically. Don't use one hand or like this or this. You have to look at it. It has to be all nice. Yeah, your back has to be straight. So look at the books, a folder or download from internet. The body position is very important. Don't use your back if you want to weight something. Just use your hands only because it is training your biceps and triceps, not your spinal cord. You can see funny videos about it. Just you look at them and you can laugh, but be aware you're probably in the beginning also doing that because this is much easier to lift something than this. So the secret is by lose lesser weight. If it you cannot you have problems and you start to move your body, or if you do a movement that is not that is not the form, probably your weight is too heavy. So and listen up to other. Don't listen too much to other people. Just look in the books. Look at the correct holding. There are enough videos, YouTube videos. Also, if you want to do, if you have like a trampoline, there are people that have exercise on music and jump on a trampoline. Do that. Look out for your knees, but do that. Also, you can do that in a small area. And if you're on vacation, even you can always do your push-ups. Don't use those bows that are in the doorway that you have to pull up. Don't do that. Dangerous. If you want to do pull-ups, use really the good machines that are built for that, or look somewhere you can really pull up or something. It is of course important, but if you really want to do it, look for the correct equipment to do it. Now always look at, don't buy the scrunching machines and all those strange things you can buy on Telcel or on those selling commercials. The really thing you need is you can people in jail, if you want to know, who are look at the people that only use the way they train in jail. In jail, they can, of course, the bars they can use as a pull-up, but all the movement is they use their own body weight. If you are interested in training, very simple and very cheap, you don't have the money, you're a student, look at how people train themselves in jail, how they become strong and how they become muscular. They don't eat much, so they are already lean. But look at how what those programs are. So for students, I advise don't spend maybe even money for going to fitness school. Just get first your body lean and use the method of they use in jail. So there are enough videos about it, and run outside. So then important, of course, is shoes. Shoes for running. My advice is you can buy very expensive shoes, blah blah blah. What happens if you run every day? You have one pair of very expensive shoes. Don't do that. You better buy the cheapest, very cheap shoes, and you buy 3 or 4 pairs, rather than one pair. I will explain why. If you have one pair, you run in the weather. They are wet. Okay, you have to dry them. Maybe you cannot run then, and then you have to wait, and you have always dependent on only one shoe. If something breaks, you don't have an extra pair. So then you take 2 pairs. An idea. Okay, one pair is dry. You can use the other pair, etc. Why I say you buy 4 cheap pairs or 3 cheap pairs. First of all, if you really run, you break those shoes, even if they're expensive or not. Maybe the expensive ones you can last longer, but last longer is not good. Why? There is gel in it that compresses when you're running, and if you use them a lot, this compression goes gone. So the first time if you buy a shoe, it's like walking on clouds. After half a year, it is walking on a wooden plank. So then you throw them away. Buy a new one, because then you have this nice soft walking. And why do you need the soft walking? Because it is like drilling. Your body, all your bones will be shaking around when you run, and that is not good for your body. So really, it's hard to running is not good for your body. It's good for your muscles, but not for your bones and all the other stuff. So why do you need multiple pairs? If you run in the morning and the evening, or multiple days after each other, switch shoes. So you have first day you have your red shoes, then your blue shoes. Why? So the foam in the shoes can recover. So that means you use one shoe, you see that the foam will be compressed, and then you take a shoe that's a week old. That is recovered the foam, and you again have a nice walk on a soft shoe. and then the next day you take another shoe. If you have like 4 pairs or something, and you run 4 times a week, you change pairs, or you have like you run 2 days a day, you take 1 pair, then another pair, and you have done 4 pairs, and the next day you take the other pairs, and then you take the pairs from 2 days ago, and that 2 days or 1 day recovery for the foam is probably okay. But rollate, and if they break, if it's not good, throw them away and buy new ones. I had very nice shoes. And I've walked too long on them. You can see it. You look at the shoe behind. If it is cricket, throw away, buy new shoes. Also, you find out if the shoes are cricket like this or this, it means that you put your feet wrong. If it is inside, it means you have X legs, and if it goes outside, you have O legs. So try to, if you see this in your shoes, how they are. You look at the underside of the shoe, how they are deteriorating. If it is one side or other side, you know how to correct it, because that tells you how you're walking. And try to get that it is evenly deteriorating, and then even you have to look, maybe you want to run more on your front feet than on your back feet. So you can look that up also on the internet, but this is also very important, how you walk and how you place your weight on your knees. I did tennis for a while, and that was not good for my knees, especially when you have to turn very quickly from one side to the net side of the court to the other side of the court. You sprint, you fall. That was damaging for my knees. Still have the problems with my knees about that. So this is a lot of advice, I think, for people that want to do fitness or sport, or combine like computer with some fitness. Start first at home and lose some weight. Switch your food. Stop drinking sweet stuff. Don't use sugar, or don't use too much salt. Of course, if you're programming, you sometimes need sugar. That is because else you don't have power. So you can don't put like a lot of sugar in your tea. Okay, then you drink like cola zero or something with zero, non-calorie, or you can drink it, but in small amounts. If you think you want to drink some alcohol, and you think, oh, let's drink beer or wine, wine is good, but little bit. And if you really like to be drunk and really want to drink more, but I had a period, what, take vodka. Use very strong 40% alcohol. The way to drunkenness is much faster than 8% of beer. And one beer is also one piece of bread. So if you're drunk with beer, you'll probably eat a whole bread. And if you're drunk with vodka, it is maybe a tenth of that. So it's much better to use strong alcohol. Of course, I don't drive it. If you want at home and you want to program, you want to be in a nice movie, drink. It's better to drink strong alcohol than drink weak alcohol. Also, you have these drinks that is 8%. These cocktails. Cocktails are too sweet. They will turn you in a round person. It will create all fat, and especially if you drink them at night, it is not good. Better to drink stronger alcohol, tequila or vodka or Geneva or other strong Jägermeister, stronger stuff. It's better at night than drinking beer and those cocktails. So look at your food. Try to make your own food. So challenge is go into the kitchen and do yourself some stuff. Try to look what's in it. Try to use real vegetables, real meat. Sometimes just focus. The most important is the vegetables and the meat. To sometimes some rice, or but try to reduce also your rice, your pasta, your potatoes, and other carbohydrates. Focus. Your meal has to be mainly about vegetables and about meat. Also take yogurt and milk if you can eat it and drink. Some people cannot. They get allergy against it or something. Yogurt and milk are also very good for recovery. The best sports drink in the world, yeah. Now it's not a commercial. The best sport drink, proven, really proven, is milk. There's no sports drink out there that can compete with milk. The best way to recover, the best way to everything, all the things you look in a sports drink is what Mother Nature created, and that is milk. So buy milk. And it's maybe the same price as an energy drinks, or those drinks are more very expensive. It is cheaper and better to buy milk than to buy those drinks. That's my advice. It is a pity that you cannot buy a glass of milk at at a sports center, but it is indirectly what's in the shake. And sometimes where I was training, I could ask for a glass of milk after sporting, so, or a glass of water. But I didn't do. That's why also why I stopped these multivitamins, because they were combined with sugars, and uh, and I was happy that these multivitamin drinks became integrated into the shakes, the protein shakes. That's it. I never used anabolic steroid or whatever. Lately, because I'm older, I'm all over the 50, I'm 55 and higher. I use creatine because my endurance was lacking, because I was doing a lot of biking, in-house biking, and I saw that if I did it a lot, that my performance went down. So I used creatine, and I saw that there was a little bit of improvement, but I think it can also be like a fact that you think you are better. So I stopped with it. I did it twice for 2, 3 months, and yeah, the performance was better, I have to admit. But did I gain something? Did it change? No. I saw also that if I stopped that, there was a difference. That it became worse. But that's it. And also, if you sometimes train and you stop for a month or 2 months and you restart, start with low weights, and you have to enjoy it. Because I used to train with very heavy weights. I didn't train for 1.5, 2 years. I have to retrain, and I trained with a weight that was half of it, and I had the same problems when I had it was 2 times. And I was happy because I think, less risk that something happens, and I can now train with a weight of 40 kilos or 30 kilos, the same as I used to train with 90 kilos. So, the same, the excitement, the pushing, the power you have to use was the same, as I remember, with the heavy weights. It is not about the weight. It is about building your body and keeping it healthy. So I hope this talk helps people with doing some exercises. I say if you want to, people want to start losing weight and they start immediately to run with overweight or in a sauna suit or something. Don't do that. Just go walking. Don't walk in dangerous neighborhoods. If you have a dog or something in your family, ask if you can walk the dog, and go to and extend your time to like an hour of walking with the dog, or go if there is some hiking, some forest in the neighborhood or something. Go there. You can go biking, but biking is specific for your legs, not for your upper body. It is better to walk and take a normal speed and increase the speed. Also, if you can do things, you don't need a bike or you don't need a car. It maybe takes 4 times longer to walk than instead using a car. Walk to it. If you do a grocery, don't use the cart. Try to lift it. So you do a lifting exercise when you're shopping, and also it reduces you what you buy. So if you have to carry it around instead in a basket instead of that you have a cart, you will buy less because it's too heavy. And if you even you can walk home with the bags, it is a good exercise, and also you will think, okay, I have to go tomorrow again, and then you have more exercise. If you do it with a car once a month or once in every week, you shop and you use a car. There's no exercise involved in the whole thing of buying food. But if you walk every 2 days and it is difficult, sometimes too heavy, it's a free exercise. You are being more aware what you are buying. The portions will be smaller, and you really think, okay, I have to carry this. Be careful. So this is also a good thing to do. And I hope, yeah, that is. I want to stop with it, and I want to talk after this something else about superconductivity. So see you later.